everybody, this is Fully and today I'm going to show you how to build a mob farm that goes on the one chunk fully automatic farming complex. So you can build this, as with all the other modules, anywhere you like inside the farm. Doesn't have to be on the top, it can be in the middle, can be at the bottom, can be where you like. But do bear in mind that wherever you build it, you need to be at least 24 blocks away for stuff to spawn inside there. If you're within 24 blocks, nothing's going to spawn. Now I'll put a list of everything you need to build it on screen now. Just pause the video if you need to, and then we'll crack on with building it. Okay, so if you're building this as a standalone unit, you just need to find an area, a chunk somewhere that you can build it on. If you're building it on top of the one chunk farming complex, you need to get to the top of your farm, and then you need to cover the top with the solid block, with your solid block of choice, which in my case is going to be quartz. Okay, then what you need to do is you need to get to the middle and you need to get out your redstone. So for the centerpiece you need a dropper, you need a comparator, you need a repeater, and you need some dust. And what you need to do is pop out the center blocks, and then somehow you need to put a dropper there facing downwards. Now again, in creative this is easy. In survival it's not going to be so easy, but I'm sure you'll figure out a way to do it. Probably that's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, perfect. And then you want to pop out those blocks there. You want to pop out two behind the back of the dropper, and then the three on either side, and then grab yourself the comparator, put your comparator there coming out of the dropper. You then need to put a repeater there, and then dust leading back into the comparator, which forms your clock when there's something in the dropper. And then on the other side you need a bit of dust there, and then a repeater going into that block. So now anytime something goes in there, causes a little pulse and it gets shot out. So that's what you should have now. Now what we need to do is put down the hoppers that are going to collect all of the goodies from the mob farm. So you need to crouch, you need to put a hopper leading directly down into the dropper. And then you want to put some solid blocks all around it. And this is probably a good time to throw down a torch as well. Flashing redstone, the scourge of all lag. So if you put a couple of torches there and there, that way the redstone won't cause a lighting update when it flashes, and it'll minimize the lag. Now what you need to do is find out which way north-south is. So at the moment I'm facing south, so north and south is that way, which is perfect. Then grab yourself a powered rail, and you want to put a powered rail on top of that dropper that the hopper that you've just put down, and you'll see that it lines up north to south. Then what you want to do then is go sort of right angles to it, perpendicular to it, and then you need to put a dropper, a dispenser on that block there. And it's going to be a temporary dispenser, but it does need to be a dispenser. So put yourself down a dispenser there, and then you want to put solid blocks there, there, and there. And what this is going to do, you're going to put minecarts in there, and then using a lever, we're going to fire them out onto this rail here. And we need to put at least 25 minecarts in there, and that's going to cause any mob that falls in it to die of cramming. And that way you don't need a 25 block drop or lava or a redstone pistons or anything like that. Mob's going to fall in there that's full of entities already, i.e. minecarts, and it's going to cram itself to death. But the reason for doing it this way round is I found in testing that if I would have put the dispenser there and then dispense out the minecarts onto the rail, every so often they'll glitch through that block. Because the rail's pointing that way, they glitch into that block and get stuck in the block. So I found it's easier if you have the dispenser pointing at right angles to the minecart rails, and that way when the minecarts come out, they've got nowhere to go. So put a block down there and then fill your dispenser up with minecarts. And then stick yourself down a lever on the block next to it and just spam the lever until you've emptied the dispenser. You'll know that it's emptied because the note changes when you're flicking. Don't know whether you can hear it, but the note changes. So we've put 9 in there to start with. That's 18. Okay, now that's 25. Now there's 25 minecarts on those rails there. Then you can pop out that the dispenser. You don't need it anymore. And then you need to surround the side of it, surround all the sides with solid blocks. And then you're left with that. So now what you need to do is raise this column up by 2 blocks. Now you might be thinking that you could probably just have the water for your farm on this level, and then they'd run into the middle, the water would push them into the middle, and they'd fall into the minecarts there, and then they'd die. And you'd be right, they would. However, and I shall demonstrate this because I'm a big fan of demonstrating, if you do that, there's a good reason why you can't do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just put this there temporarily, and then we can throw down some zombies in there and whatever, some skellies. Actually, we'll probably put creepers in there so they don't burn in the daylight. So we'll pretend, do a bit of pretending. We'll pretend that this is the floor of your mob farm where the water's going to go. So all the water's going to push the mobs into the center. Perfect. So grab myself a creeper egg. Now if I spam half a dozen creepers in there, count how long it takes for them to die. So if I put in 10, you see the problem? The one that's actually in with the minecarts, its hitbox is stopping the others from falling in. So the one in there has to die before others will fall in, if this is on the same level. Whereas if you have a 2-block drop and we throw in 10 creepers, this time they don't stop before they fall in. They just fall straight in. So it clears the creepers, or it clears the mobs, so much quicker by having that drop. The hitbox of the mob that's already in the farm doesn't stop the other mobs from falling in. Ah, cool. So that's why we have to have a 2-block drop. So I thought I'd share that with you, so now you know. Okay, so from here then, like I said, you need to build this up by 2 blocks to stop the hitboxes from preventing each other from falling in the holes. So once you've built it up 2 blocks like that, you want to cover the rest of the floor with solid blocks. And now is probably a good time to build up your wall. You need to build all of your walls up so that they're the same height as your floor. And also, do not forget to put lights in here. You could put down half slabs if you wanted to. I mean, it's an option, but it's just as easy to spam down loads of light, and that way you haven't got to worry about mobs spawning in here, because any mobs that spawn in here won't spawn in your farm. So don't be shy when it comes to torches. And then finish off building your walls up till they're the same height as the floor of your mob farm. Okay, so once you've built the wall up around the sides and you've put your floor on, it will look like that. Now you just need to put a wall around the outside of it. This is going to hold all your water in. So now you need to put a wall around the outside of the entire perimeter of the building. Okay, so once you've done that, you need to go to a corner, and we need to build the corners up by a couple of blocks. We need to put the 3 blocks in the corners, like we have done with a few of the farms below. This is to hold the water block in the corner. The water block in the corner has to go there. It can't go there, otherwise it's just going to completely fill this with water source blocks. So it needs to go on that block there. And I will bang on about that quite a bit, because it's vital that you do that. And you don't put the water block on the bottom. If you put it there, you'll fill this up with water, and then you'll have to drain it, and it's a pain draining out solid blocks of water. It needs to go in there. Okay, then grab yourself a couple of buckets of water, and you can use the 2 buckets of water to make yourself an infinite water source. So you only need 2 buckets really. And then go to one of the sides and get your depth strider boots on. And then you need to count 2 blocks in, 1, 2, and put put a water source block there. Do not put one there. Do not put one there. Miss the first 2 blocks and put your water source block on the 3rd. Then miss a block and put another water source block. And now that block there, the one in the middle, is a water source block. So you can use one of your empty buckets now to pick that up, move it across 2, put it down, go back, pick up another one. Go back, pick up another one, go back, pick up another one. So therefore, that's why you only need 2 buckets of water. Now, when you get to the other side, you have to miss these 2 blocks here. If you fill them in, you will break this. Okay, so leave 2 blocks and then put your water source block in. Turn through 90 degrees and do the same again. Miss the first 2 and put water on the rest of them. And leave the last 2. Okay, so you've missed 2, you've filled the water, you've missed 2. And you want to do the same again on the 3rd side. Miss the first 2, put water down, miss the last 2, and put water down. So all of these are source blocks apart from those 2. And then you want to do it for the last side. So you've missed those 2. Now at the moment you've got a dead block there, and you've got water flowing back into the corner there. So any mob that falls around here at the moment would go into the corner and get stuck, which is no good to anybody. Which is why you put another block of water, not on the bottom, but on the next one up. Put it in there. Okay, then you go to the other side. Do not put it in the bottom. Do not put it at the bottom. Put it the next one up. Okay, not at the bottom. That one there. Final corner. Do not put it at the bottom. Put it on the next one up. And now anything that falls into that water is going to make its way to the center and fall down and cram to death. So once you've done that, that's what you should have. Right, this is future Freelioth. I've come back because I've made a bit of a mistake and I've got to correct it, and I thought I have to put it into the video, into the tutorial at this section, otherwise it's going to make, it's going to cause you a lot of work. Basically, the bottom platforms, these platforms here, have got to be solid blocks. They can't be slabs, because that happens. The mobs get stuck underneath the because of the doors, the trap doors. They get stuck under there. So these only the bottom platform, the next platform up, these and any above it can be slabs, but the bottom ones, these ones, have got to be solid blocks. Now, for the rest of the video, the rest of the tutorial, you're going to see these as slabs, but they cannot be slabs. They have to be solid blocks. If you make these out of slabs, your mobs are going to get stuck underneath the doors at the bottom. So it's an easy fix, and I needed to get it into the video here. So as I say, the rest of the video, they're going to be slabs, but you need to make them solid blocks. Then stick your carpet back in again. Okay, so vitally important, the bottom platforms have to be solid. Any other platform after that can either be solid or slabs, but the bottom one has got to be solid. Sorry about that. Now we need to put in the spawning platforms for the mobs, and we're going to use slabs for this. Now you can use solid blocks if you want to, but obviously slabs are half the price. So for every one solid block, you get 2 slabs. Makes sense, really. So if we use slabs, it's going to reduce the amount of material that we need. So what you need to do is go to a corner, any corner, and count 1 block in diagonally and put 2 temporary blocks down. Okay? Actually, you want to put 3 temporary blocks down. Apologies. 3 temporary blocks down. And then put a top slab off the 3rd block. And then you can pop those out. This is going to be the platform where the mobs are going to stand. And then you want to do a platform of slabs, of top slabs, that's 3 by 3. Has to be top slabs. If it's bottom slabs, nothing's going to spawn. And if you want to be doubly sure, grab yourself a torch. If you can put a torch on it, then a mob can spawn on it. If you've got the slab the wrong way round, see if I can put one down here to show you. If you've got the bottom slab there and you've done those out of bottom slabs, if you try and put a torch on that now, you won't be able to. You can put it on the top one, you can't put it on a bottom one, which is why mobs can't spawn on there. So if you do a complete floor with bottom slabs, then you've wasted your time. Make sure they're top slabs. Then you need to miss one. You need to do a platform that's 3 by 3, temporary block, and then do another platform that's 3 by 3. Okay? Then temporary block and another platform that's 3 by 3. And you want to do this one more time, temporary block and then a 3rd platform. So that's what you've got at the moment. Now you want to do this another 3 times. So you want one there, one line there, one line there, one line there. So that's now what you should have. So now I think it's time to build the walls up a little bit more. So get yourself your solid block again. And then go around your walls and build it up to the same level as your platform. Okay, so now currently you've got that. got where the front of my farm is. This is the front, isn't it? Yeah, this is the front. Now, unfortunately, unlike the rest of the farms that have got a nice bit of glass in them, this farm isn't going to have any glass in it, because if you did, it would reduce your spawns. You can, at a push, put slabs in it, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, but you know, by the time you get around to building your mob farm on it, it's going to be so high up, you're not going to be able to see anything down here anyway, so you may as well just have solid blocks up there. But if you wanted to, put yourself down a temporary solid block, and then if you put slabs down like this, all the way across, they let in the same amount of light as a solid block. So if you have a line of slabs like that, and then another line of slabs like that, when you've completely covered the farm, when you put a roof over it and put all the walls up either side, it won't let any light in. So you'll be able to see in, but there'll be no light in there, so the mobs are still going to be able to spawn. But as I say, if this is up a reasonable height, you're not going to be able to see in there anyway. So so it's up to you. Put slabs there if you want to see in, but they have to be like that. They have to be either top slabs or bottom slabs, if you understand what I mean. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. You guys are pretty smart. But we're going to stick with solid blocks on the outside. So once you've got your platforms in like that, it's time to stop putting down your trapdoors. So grab yourself loads of trapdoors. And then you want to start off by going all the way around the outside, putting trapdoors on the outside walls where there's a platform. There's no need to put one there. That's just the waste of a trapdoor. Just need to put the 3 there next to a platform. 3 next to platform, spin round, same there. If you want to open these while you're going, then feel free to do so. You don't have to wait till the end. And again, there's no point in putting one there because that's just a waste of a trapdoor. So then you've got that, something like that. And now you just need to go around and open them all. Now these trapdoors act as it's a mechanism for mobs to fall down into the water. Basically, a mob will see that as a solid block, and it'll think it can walk over it even if it's open. So the mob's going to spawn on the platform, and it's going to think that there's a solid block there. It's going to walk over it and then fall into the water. But you knew that anyway. Okay, so once you've opened all of the trapdoors, that's what you're going to have. Now grab yourself some carpet. Any colour you like. We'll have purple today. And then put down a piece of carpet on the middle block of all of the platforms. Now this has 2 purposes. The first purpose, it just makes it look pretty cool, don't you think? And secondly, more importantly, it stops spiders from spawning in your farm. The last thing you want in here are spiders, because spiders won't fall down those gaps, they certainly won't fall down that hole, and they'll take up your mob cap. And they'll sit around forever, so you don't want spiders in there. And a spider needs a 3x3 area to spawn in. So by having the carpet down there, that should prevent spiders from spawning in there. Now what you need to do is go around again and do a bit more wall building. So you need to raise this up now, either 3 blocks if this is going to be your only spawning pad, or up another 2 blocks, and then you can put in another set of spawning pads. So we'll go up by 2, and then we'll put in another set of spawning pads. Okay, so once you've built your wall up, that's what you should have. Now, as I say, if this is going to be your only spawning pad, if you've only got enough room for one, or you've only got enough materials for one floor, then this is going to be your roof. Then all you need to do now is put a roof over the top of it, and then you'll be good to go. But as I say, we're just going to build another set of pads. The more you build, the more productive it's going to be. So if you can build 5 or 6 of these, you're going to have mobs raining down on you for days. You know, depending on a few other factors that we'll talk about in a second. But the more you have, the more will spawn. Pretty obvious, really. Okay, so once you've got your second layer of pads in, your second level, that's what it's going to look like. Now we'll stick with 2. So all we've got to do now is put a roof over the top of it, and see, then we'll be good to go. Okay, so now it looks like that. We've got the 2 spawning pads in now. We've got the 2 spawning pads in, and we've got the we've completely blocked all of the light, and this is what you're left with. We've got some funky looking creatures. Look at that. Now, as you can see, they'll stand on the platforms, and then they'll walk off because they think they can walk past the trapdoors. They'll spawn and they'll wait a couple of seconds, and then they'll start walking. And as I say, the more floors you have, the more spawns you're going to get. But you won't get any spiders, which is perfect. And then anything that falls down the centre, down here. We're going to have any fall down in contestants? Here we go. Anybody that falls into there will start cramming. And they'll die. And all their goodies are going to be shot down. Shot down out of here. You want to make sure you don't do that though, don't you? You want to make sure you've got a bit of glass there. I forgot to put that back when I was messing about. Do go through and make sure you've got your glass in there. Otherwise you're going to waste drops falling on there. Bit of a problem that is, isn't it? Easily fixed. So then all your goodies go straight down your farm, straight down through the middle. All the way past these guys. And everything else. And finish up out here in your storage system. Right, so the prerequisites you need for this farm. For this farm to work, firstly, you're going to need to be, and I've got my camera account just down there, you need to be outside 24 blocks spherically away from this farm. If you're within 24 blocks, these guys won't spawn. Nothing will spawn. You won't get any mobs. And if you're outside 128 blocks from the farm, they'll spawn, but they'll instantly despawn. So you need to be between 24 blocks and 128 blocks away in any direction. Now, if you're AFKing on the ground and your mob farm is up there, you need to light up, and obviously I don't have to do that in the void, but if you're in a survival world, you'll need to light up every cave that's within 128 blocks of where you're AFKing. If you can AFK above ground, if you can AFK sort of around about this level, whatever this level is, we're currently at level 97. So if I was to AFK here, that would be great. Then I'd only have to light up sort of 30 blocks below ground level. But the further I get down, the more I have to light up underground. Now, don't AFK more than 127 blocks above the killing area for for these guys. So where that is now, where the minecarts are now, don't AFK more than 127 blocks above that, because if you do, they're going to fall in there and despawn. But if you were to AFK at level 200, then that would give you the maximum amount of spawns, because you'll be outside the range of spawning anything else below ground, and you'll only be spawning things that are inside your farm. So that'll give you the maximum amount of spawns. You've also got to take into account, if you're playing this on a server, it'll have a mob cap. So there'll be everybody else on the server will be taking up part of that mob cap. So don't expect to be on a server with 40 other people and have mobs raining down on you. It's not going to happen. Okay, so light up as many caves as you can. AFK above if you can. And try and get on your server when nobody else is on. So that, everybody, is how to build a mob farm for the one chunk fully automatic farming complex. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future tutorials. This is Frillioth, and I'm out of here.